Hey, Cailen Ascher here from Calm Biz, and I have a little question for you. What is one of your least favorite things about running a yoga business? And if I can guess, I'm guessing it has something to do with selling yourself. As yogis, we tend not to like to go in for the hard sell, myself included. I'm not very good at it. That's why I love marketing, because marketing's all about offering valuable information that just educates the community, and when they're ready to work with you, they step up and they work with you. But sometimes, especially when it comes to filling your private client list, if you want to work one-on-one with people, it's important to be a little more forthright and really draw the right people in. So today I'm going to share just a couple tips that will help you sell your one-on-one yoga offerings without being salesy or inauthentic, because I think that's what really trips us up. The idea that if we go in for the sell and we go in and really pitch an idea to a student about working one-on-one, that it's going to rub them the wrong way. And so here are just a few tips to help you do that. First of all, I think it's really important to mention it in a low-pressure environment. Simply mentioning that you offer one-on-ones before or after class will keep that top of mind for your students, and then when it's time for them, if they're interested in working one-on-one, diving deeper into their yoga practice, then they can do so. They know that you're open and available. So it's really important to mention that not just once, but every week, every other week, just saying that you are open and available to work one-on-one when they're ready to dive deeper into their yoga practice. Tip number 2 is to go in a little bit more. You likely have a sense of what students are ready to begin to move to that next level. Maybe students who are recovering from an injury or who are really advanced for the level that they're practicing at. You can get a sense. You have that teacher intuition, and invite those people specifically. Again, it doesn't have to be a high pressure situation. You can simply say, you know, I've noticed that you've really been favoring your left knee. I think if we spent some time one-on-one, we could work through that and give you some better tools for your toolbox to work with that injury and really use yoga as a therapy to recover. And again, they can easily say no, or maybe it's the exact thing they needed to hear and they want to work with you. So don't be afraid to mention it before class, after class, in person to specific students, or give them a call, send them an email. Again, it doesn't have to be this formal sales pitch. It doesn't have to be this memorized spiel that you're giving them, but just an open invitation, and to show them that you really care about them and helping them is going to make all the difference. Another thing that we're not always good at as yogis is being pleasantly persistent. Oftentimes, it's kind of like you rip the Band-Aid off. You mention the sale and then you run away and you don't want to think about it again. But we need that consistency. We need to be pleasantly persistent in order to allow the students to find us at the right time for them. Because if you mentioned it to a student maybe at the beginning of the summer, and then they're away and their kids are home from school and it's just not the right time for them, if you don't mention it again, they might not remember to come back to you in the fall when their schedule settles down and they have more time for themselves to work one-on-one with you. So mentioning your offerings, whatever they are, whether they be one-on-one sessions, maybe immersions or workshops that you have coming up, or more classes that you're developing, mention them on a consistent basis. Be pleasantly persistent, and that'll keep the door open for those students when they're ready to work with you. And lastly, the last tip I want to mention is put together packages. Instead of constantly going in for the one-time sale of selling one private session and another one private session, I really encourage that you package your sessions together in at least a 4-session pack, maybe 6, 8, or even 10 or 12 if you really want to get that big. And this is good for a number of reasons. First of all, you only have to sell once and then you get repeat business. And as yoga teachers, we know having that repeat, that residual income coming in is really essential for us to make yoga into our careers. And secondly, it serves your students better. One private session, one-off session isn't going to do much for that student, especially if they're nursing a physical injury or working on more subtle levels like trying to cope with anxiety or depression, or simply want to tap into that really feel-good yoga feeling. One session isn't going to do it. One yoga class isn't going to do it. But a package of sessions that moves them in the direction of their goals, that's going to be much more effective. And it's going to convince them of the work that you're doing together. They're really going to buy into it. Not that they need to buy into it. We all know yoga is good, but it's figure of speech, you know what I mean. That they're really going to soak it up. They're going to feel so good that likely they're then going to buy another package from you and keep working with you for the long haul, because they're going to see all the amazing benefits that come from a consistent one-on-one practice with you. So just to go over the 4 tips that I mentioned. Low pressure mentioned, before and after class. Keep at it. Make sure you keep mentioning it to them so they know they can work with you. Invite specific people. You know who they are, and don't be afraid to go in, reach out to them via phone, email, or even before or after class. Be pleasantly persistent. You have to be consistent with your offering and your marketing so that the doorway stays open for all those students when they're ready to work with you. And lastly, put together those packages so that you only have to do this stuff once, and then hopefully those students keep working with you for the long haul, and then you can keep recruiting more and more people and build your business that way instead of constantly focusing on getting just one client and then another one client. I hope you found these tips helpful. I hope it helps you to recruit more of the right people into your one-on-one offerings. And as always, for more business and marketing tips just for yogic entrepreneurs, head on over to calmbiz.com, and I'll see you there.